Yo, I'm gonna just start in a couple minutes. Let a couple of you catch up on the group me. Hopefully, just find the link. I don't know how many of you will be able to, but come on down. Man, that season went by really fast and then really slow, as per usual. But man, what a lot of drama to finish the season, man. I mean, for Dale and David, and I was kind of tied in that too because it would have determined who I faced. So, I mean, I could have faced it, Carlos, Dale, or David. I didn't know. So, um, like I said, I'll wait just a couple more minutes. Hopefully, people can jump in. If not, they could watch it after. But I hope whoever is watching, just post in the group me that you're here. I think there's a chat option in YouTube. So if there's something you want to ask or if there's something you want me to bring up, let me know. Let's see. I'm just making sure there's a chat option. Blah 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 blah. Um, Recording, comments, and ratings. Okay. So I think there should be a chat option. All right, 5 of you. Cool. Where can I see the chat? Maybe it'll be easier if you guys just comment on the group me because I don't know where the fuck the chat is. Well, maybe just comment on the group me. Oh, okay. Maybe the chat option's off. Anyway, man, that was a great season. Props to everybody who made the playoffs. I'll go into each team a little bit, just kind of talking about their season, and I'll start at 12, work my way up, and again, it'll just be like a minute or two on each one. But oh, okay, Dale. Let me see if I can adjust that. Maybe that's why. Let me see if I can edit that option. This is live chat. Okay. Oh, what's his? Is disabled for this video. Hmm. Okay. I took off that made for kids thing. I took it off. So, but I don't know if that's going to change anything with the chat. Let's see. Let's see if it did. Let's see. Live chat. Okay, it says live chat is on. Yeah, so it says there's a live chat now. Okay, let's see. Okay, now you can chat. Nice, Dale. All right, you guys can chat now. I put it up. There you go. There we go. Cool. Who's all right? I'm assuming that's all right. I had to keep it kid friendly for you kids. All right, so I got mine. Cheers to the season. Cheers to the playoffs for those who made it. And yeah, man. Whew, Dale got in at the last possible chance. I mean, if Justin's closers had gone yesterday, they wouldn't have pitched today. I'm pretty sure. Um, and then Hader goes in, and yeah, and Hader goes in, and I'm thinking, okay, that's it, that's over. And then he gives up like 6 runs. He only gets 1 out, and they pull him. I'm like, oh shit, David still has a chance. And the Mariners just they're that guy Sewell hadn't pitched. I was looking at it; he hadn't pitched since the 24th. So I'm like, he's going to be due to. They'll put him in to get work. I mean, there was a good chance. So sure enough, he got just in the innings and closed out the win over David. And even with your lost Dale, he still got in at the eighth seed. So that's just crazy, man. Like I don't think we've ever had where a minimum innings determined a playoff spot. Like this determined it. If he hadn't got it, David would have been in, and if he did get it, you're in. So that's just crazy. So let's talk about it. The season real quick. So unfortunately, Team AJ went from first to worst. Um, his team got hot right at the end. He think he pulled off. He beat a couple of top like six teams in the last 3 4 weeks. But it wasn't enough. He needed to win this week. He needed me to beat Alejandro, and he needed to win to avoid getting last place. I think what happened was AG's team started off slow because his roster looks good, but guys like Castellanos and Cedric Mullins and Salvi Perez, they all had slow first halves. Charlie Morton had a slow first half. If he had Fried, Nola, and Morton all going like top from the beginning, I think AG would have probably pulled off a few more wins and had a better shot. Alejandro, I think Justin's next. Justin, same thing. I think it was pitching that kept him out. But I think Justin, like last year, I think last year he was one of them who had the most Sunday showdowns. So Justin's record could have easily flipped from what it is now to 9-9, 9-1 record or 8-10. He could have been easily right in it because he had a lot of marginal losses. But again, I think it was his pitching that inhibited him. But he's got a great freeze in Julio Rodriguez. So Alejandro, I think he kind of knew what the situation was, and that's why he made so many trades. But he's stacked for next year in terms of the draft, and he still was there. I mean, there was a way, but he had to win out from the All Star break, I think, or at least win the majority. But he's in. He's in for next year in terms of a top draft pick, so he's going to be fine. Then we had just getting out of the hunt. David again came down to the final thing, and I mean, if David would have won, he would have gone in. If Dale you had lost, and Dale you had control. You win, you're in. But David was right there, and it came down to just a small defeat with minimums innings pitched. I think David made a couple of trades, but I don't know if he traded any draft picks. If he did, I don't think he acquired any top five picks. Oh wait, maybe for Tatis. Maybe for Tatis he got one. But yeah. So those four are going to battle it out for the bottom. I think Justin proposed a like a little betting thing. I don't know if that's in terms of picking the brackets for the playoff teams or the final four and see whoever makes it the farthest. But either way, those four, I cheers to you guys for a good season. And Dave, you can't ask for much more than being in the hunt all the way to the end, right? So that's as good as you can hope for, is being in contention to the last possible chance, other than locking down a spot prior to that. But cheers to you guys. Now, eighth seed, Dale got in. He was kind of hovering between the eighth through like fifth spot at times, but always around I think in the last, like, since the All-Star break, you've been around the ninth, eighth, and seventh spot, right? Kind of just going back and forth. And you had a big win last week that allowed you to control your path to the playoffs. And it came down to a factor that you couldn't control, which is kind of funny. But congrats. From the way it's looking, I think it's how it's the same setup, but we'll go about the setup for the playoffs. But Dale has a good team. He did trade, a couple guys, but he still has had a team that made the playoffs. He has a really good offense. Harper just came back for him, so that's big to get him right before the next week starts. A matter of I don't your four pitchers, who you're going to go with. I think your offense will be just fine. Um, so congrats on the A spot. Made the playoffs. Again, all you have to do for me, a successful season is making the postseason, getting a chance to, a chance at a possible making the championship or winning. So whether that's in at the 1 seed or the 8 seed, it doesn't matter. If you made the postseason, that's a successful season, and you did. So congrats on a good season. 7 seed, it looks like it's going to be Carlos with a loss this week to Joe. It looks like they're going to have a rematch in the first round, but Carlos has great pitching. I mean, his pitching is. I mean, I don't know what four he's going to go with, but I'm assuming he won't go with Dustin May. I think he'll probably go with Alcantara, um, Garrett Cole. The fuck else does he have? Julio Urias. But he had a great season, man. He hovered around 500 the whole time. And I had said, way early on that most likely getting into the postseason, you can possibly have 8-10 or record, and you'll probably be in. And he hovered right around that 500 record, and now he's in. So I don't know if this is Carlos's first playoff appearance. If anybody knows if this is a first playoff appearance for anybody, let me know in the chat, because there's only 3 of you watching, but as others come in and out, I think this might be Carlos's first playoffs. Efren, you didn't make the playoffs in 2020 when you kicked me out in the last week of the season. Well, we'll go into you, but yeah. So Carlos, 7 seed. Again, pitching held him down the whole year. I don't know about his offense, but his pitching, he had a strategy, the same strategy last year, and was to dominate pitching in the draft and see where it takes him, and it worked this year. Took him to the postseason. In the 6 seed, we're going to have Adam. Adam got a win this week. Big win. Ends with like a 500 record, 9-1. Adam has, acquired good players at the trade deadline, I think, which pushed him over into the significant contention and a good team. He kind of bridged that gap of what he needed. And so he's right there. Got a couple big wins this week, or last weekend this week. I think AJ beat him, but it doesn't matter. He's in at the 6 seed, and he looks like he's going to have a rematch with Efren next week. So congrats to Adam. Solid offensive players. I think he could easily group 4 pitchers together. I think McClanahan, DeGrom, and the other 2, I guess whoever you decide is the best matchups for the next week. And then in at the, what am I at, the 5th seed, Ray. Man, Ray started off red hot, right? Like contending 1 and 2 seed. And then like, that was like the first third of the season. And then the second third of the season, he's like contending like in that 4 or 5 seed. And he just started losing, right? And then I don't know if it was managing his team or whatever, but he ended up getting Ohtani, which was a big move. We got Ohtani on both sides. And Ohtani kind of took off pitching wise. And Trout just got back for him. So that's huge for the playoffs. He just got Trout back. Let's see what chat says. This would have been the first time I didn't make the playoffs if I didn't make it in. You made playoffs last year or the year before? Wow, that's an accomplishment if you hadn't made playoffs. I mean, that's an accomplishment that you've never missed the playoffs. So that's damn, dude, that's really good. Yeah, but Ray, they started like losing, right? I think he like lost like 6 or 7 straight. And then of course, in the last 3-4 weeks, he wins, I think 3 out of 4, gets up to, I think he's 10-9, gets right above 500. I think even if he would have lost, he had clinched the seed last week with a big win. And now he's got his best player healthy in Trout, his other best player in Ohtani going. The Angels are getting a couple wins here, so maybe they run some momentum. But Ray makes the playoffs, and just a roller coaster of a season, just like high, then started going down, and then made that last push, and he got in at the 5th seed. So congrats to Ray, man. Huge playoff. just gotta manage. You and Carlos is like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but just you're in the playoffs. Like, this is your chance to just be on it. Okay, be on it. Fourth seed Moy. I think Moy. I said this. He had locked up the fourth seed. I think 2 weeks ago or last week. He had enough of a gap of the people ahead of him and below him where whatever. I think he had a game and a half gap, so it didn't matter what happened this week. He was going to be the fourth seed. He couldn't catch up to the three, and the five couldn't catch up to him. So, but Moy kind of this had a similar strategy as last year. He dominated offense, and he has tremendous offensive lineup, right? Of course, Vladdy G. He has Xander Bogarts, dominating. He picked up Matt Chapman, who's having his best year in his last like 4 years. And then he made two huge pitching acquisitions in Max Fried and Aaron Nola, which, you partner those two up with Zach Wheeler and whoever he wants to throw his fourth guy. And you got to, when it comes to playoffs, like, you win and you keep going, right? There's no next week. You either win or you're out. And to have a team with those three pitchers and the offense you have, you're feeling really good at the table, right? So good job, Moy. He consistently stayed between the 2 and 5. Like, if he went below 5, I think it was no more for than 1 week. So Moy had a great season this year. I think a few wins could have went his way. He probably could have easily gotten up to 12, 13 wins. I think he lost by maybe just like 1 or 2 points. But those pitching acquisitions just made his team that much more dangerous. So congrats, Moy. And then we have in the 3 seed, we have Efren. Efren and Joe are going back and forth. Joe's team got red hot. I'll talk about him next. But Efren, man, his team was always in the top 3. I don't think Efren ever left the top 3. He had arguably probably for sure with the AL MVP and maybe the NL MVP in Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt, both who he drafted. He froze Nolan Arenado. So these are 2 draft picks he made. I think he can easily put a good, solid 4 pitchers together. I know he has Alex Manoah. And then let's see who else his pitchers are. The top of my head, trying to remember all your guys' players is just, it's as much as I'm on this. Let's see, Efren. Yeah, so Woodruff came back from healthy. Woodruff, Manoah, and Webb. Detmers can be, I don't know how you're going to work that 4th pitcher, but you could basically work a matchup start. But Manoah is solid, and Woodruff he started off a little bit shaky, but then his last like 3 or 4 starts have been quality starts, and he's on a contending team, so they're gonna pitch him, so you don't have to worry about starts being missed because all of those guys are on contending teams or teams that want to win. So, and then to add on to your offense, you have Ty France came back just in time for you from the injured list. Arenado's having one of his top career years. And I like your depth with Taylor and Brandon Crawford. So Efren, again, just a great season. Never really dropped out of the top 3. And I think he shot to 10 wins within like the first 12 weeks. So congrats, Efren, on the 3 seed. Again, you'll have a rematch with Adam next week if I think the brackets are going to set up how I think. And then we have the 2 seed, Joe. Joe pulled ahead. He just on a tear, right? I mean, Joe's team has I think he's won 6 of his last 7. And, because Efren took a couple losses in the last 5 weeks, it allowed Joe to jump into the 2nd place the season. So congrats, Joe. Joe will have a rematch with Carlos next week. And Joe what can you say? Joe has Juan Soto, Manny Machado, one of his best years. So that's a solid infielder and outfielder. Not to top it off, Joe's pitching is excellent, but I think he has the polar bear and Pete Alonso, who's having one of his best years. Kyle Tucker ever since the All-Star break has just been looking awesome. Like, his first half was okay, but man, he's just been tearing it up. So he has great outfield. Of course, Devers, the top AL third baseman, top third baseman in the league. And then his pitching, Corbin Burns, Gallen, who has been a huge surprise, right? Zach Gallen has been dominating his last 6, 7, 10 starts. I mean, the guy is, I think, in over double digit quality starts, even on the Diamondbacks. So Zach Gallen was a hell of a pick. He has rotational depth with Bassett, and if Nestor Cortez can get back healthy, and then of course Frankie Montas. So and then Kirby from Seattle. So Joe Joe has pitching where he has two solid guys that he can go with, and then the rest he can just decide what matchups he likes better, or maybe he wants the if some guys have multiple starts. But Joe had a great season. Again, he was frozen, and just after the thawing, after he thawed out, just been on a tear. A 12, well, no, I think he got to 13 wins. So 13, 5-1 record for Joe. Props to you, bro. And then I got my second season victory in a row. Last year, I got the season because a couple of people lost, and I got a couple of wins towards the end. But this one I was very, very happy with this season. I'm gonna finish the season at 16-3. Um, I think that's maybe one of the top 3 records for the season since we've been doing this. I think Joe might have the best record for a season. The year he won the season and won playoffs, I think he went like 18-2 that year. But just super pumped with the season I had. Uh, a lot of matchups because it easily gone the other way. I got my ass kicked twice by Joe and Moy, who are in the playoffs, which is a little, and I think they own the tiebreakers against me. But yeah, I stayed around the top 3 the whole time. I think I stayed around the top 2 the whole time. Um, and just super pumped with winning another season. And I can't wait for the playoffs. So um, I love my pitching. If, if Verlander's okay, I think he's gonna be okay. I think I have the oldest pitching staff with Scherzer, Verlander. I try to get Charlie Morton from AJ Wainwright. I mean, he's like the oldest pitchers in the league, but fuck it out. They're doing well, and I just need them to do well. Hopefully, if I'm lucky for another 3 weeks. Very happy with a couple intuition picks I had this year with McNeil and d'Arnaud, and of course, it's all about staying healthy. So, very props to you guys. Cheers for making the playoffs. That's a little rundown and recap of everybody's season and the road to the playoffs. So let's talk about the payouts, right? So Yale sent me the payouts, and yeah, there's payouts for the season. Obviously for first place, but for second place and third place as well. So Efren, you're gonna walk away with some cash already, and Joe, this is the payouts that Dale sent me. So for the season, first place gets 1,024. Second place gets $524, Joe. And Efren, at third place, you walk away with $124 for the season. So you already got your deposit for trades. Well, I don't think you made trades, but anyway, 124, 524, and then 1,024. So now looking at the playoffs, the payouts are as such. First place for the playoffs gets 724. Second place for the playoffs gets 274, and third place gets $74. So again, money's already money to be had, and if you won in the last few weeks, you pocket that money as well. So congrats if you guys cashed in. But those are the payouts. That's what it looks like. And now let's talk about how the brackets are set up. Now I believe it's the same structure: 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. So that means let's look at 4 versus 5. So that would be Moy versus Ray, right? So you have dominant offense with really good pitching, and then Ray with really good pitching, and a good offense with Trout back and Otani in the lineup. And let's see, who else does Ray have? Now, actually, I want to look at your guys' season record. I don't know how many times you guys face each other, But let's look at those two since since we're talking about the playoffs. So, Ray. I just want to see because so Ray has Matt Olson and Lindor, and then again, a lot of guys are hurt in NA, so that's rough. But with Carlos Rodon, Gossman, Syndergaard, Otani, and arguably the best closer in Diaz, could make it interesting. Now, let's see. When did you guys face each other? That's going to take a little minute. Let's see. Did you? You guys must have faced each other, right, Moy? Ray, you guys faced each other in the season? Should have looked at this before I went live, but it just dawned on me right now. Oh, I don't, did you guys face each other? That would be weird if you guys. Oh yeah, okay. So it looks like in week 9, you guys face each other, and Moy beat Ray 11-6. So I don't think you guys face each other again, right? Because have to be 12. Yeah. So Moy owns a tiebreaker against Ray. So that's gonna be. Just remember, since we're talking about the playoffs, 4 pitchers. That's the only difference in the rules. You can only do 4 pitchers. Okay, so if you're going against a guy who has 5 lined up, let the commissioner know or tell the guy, hey, you can only start 4 pitchers. Okay, don't cheat yourself. But yeah, so Moy versus Ray, 4 versus 5. I think it's even on the pitching side. Moy definitely has an offensive edge. But again, it's postseason, so anything can happen. It's going to be who these pitchers go up against is a big factor. Multiple starts is another factor. But Moy is the 4th seed for a reason, and Ray is the 5th seed. They have close records, but again, a tie goes in Moy's advantage for the tiebreaker, and Moy, with the acquisition of Nolan Freed, I think he has the advantage. Now, 3 versus 6. Efren and Adam just had a matchup, and Adam took that one. But again, Adam's concerned about players being available, not having a third baseman. He said Acuna and Alvarez might not be there. I don't know about that. Sometimes I don't know about this voodoo stuff. But Efren looks like he has everybody available for him. So we have two immediate rematches from this week. So advantages. I think Adam probably has a slight pitching advantage, and I think Efren has the offensive advantage, right? With the MVPs on offense on his team, and Adam with McClanahan and DeGrom on his team. I think this one could be very close if both teams show up. So I like this matchup as a kind of an even matchup. But again, I'd give the edge offensively to Efren, pitching to Adam. 2 versus 7. That's a rematch with Carlos and Joe. And this one was close this week, right? Joe had pulled it out, I think, I think Carlos was managing a little bit more, on top of it. He wouldn't have pitched certain guys. Let's look at their matchup from this week, because I think pitching Dustin May with against his own other pitcher he was going against, and starting Urias. I don't know if these things hurt him offensively. Let's see. So Joe won 8 out of the 9 offensive categories, and I think pitching Dustin May cost Carlos the losses because he tied Joe in losses. If he would have taken the loss, it would have been 10-8. But he had 6 quality starts for Carlos, 4 wins, a sub 2.3 ERA. And Joe got the saves and the total bases. So I think that was more managing on the pitching side. But if I had to give an edge, I would give the edge pitching wise to Carlos, and then obviously offensively to Joe. Carlos has a lot of injuries and guys that aren't available to go. So on the offensive side, this can be another very close, because this matchup came down to today. I think it was as close as like 9-8 or 8-8 at some point this morning. So again, this could be a fun rematch. And then we have me versus Dale. Oh, going back to that, I believe Joe owns a tiebreaker then because let's see, it's week 19, so that means they face each other in week 7. What was the matchup there? No, wait, because it'd be 12 teams. When did Joe and processors? Yeah, Joe beat them both times, so Joe owns a tiebreaker for Carlos and him. So if they tied, Joe advances. So now it's 1 versus 8, me versus Dale. We played each other once in the season. I own the tiebreaker for the win on that. Um, so if we're gonna look at this matchup, right? Let's look at Dale's team. Dale has good, solid offense. Abreu's been hot since the All Star break. Muncie's been tearing it up. Correa is solid. Quan is batting like 300. Um, and again, Bryce Harper just came back, so that's huge. Starling Marte is a good player. So Dale does have some injuries. So we'll see. He picked up Brandon Drury, who's good. He's been good for the Padres. He was good this year. I was looking at him. Pitching wise, um, this is where it gets interesting because he can only go with 4. So this is Dale's definitely going to have to, at least for me, in my opinion, Dale's going to definitely play the matchup situation, right? Which pitchers are going against the better matchup of the other team that they're pitching against. I don't think Dale has, maybe Darvish, but even lately, I don't know. I don't know if Dale has a go-to must-start guy. I think Dale would benefit from pitching the best 4 who are in the best situation. Either they have multiple starts or they are pitching against weaker competition. So I think he might base his 4 like that. It would make sense because, and this is why I don't want to give him the I don't want to give myself the pitching advantage because I'm only going to get single starts from I think all my pitchers. The 4 I picked, Scherzer just went today, Verlander just went today, and he got hurt. I don't know if he's going to be back. Wainwright's going right now. Um, Luis Castillo went yesterday. So like I'm only gonna get 1 start from the guys who I probably choose. So Dale has an advantage in terms of if he has multiple guys getting multiple starts, right? So that's a huge advantage. Offensively, I think if we both stay healthy, I like my offense. Just position by position. Um, I like my offense. Depth wise, I think he has a little bit better depth. All my pitchers are going once this week. Oh, are you sure? If so, then that's good news for me. But that's I like even matchups. But I don't have the depth in offense. Like if I have guys who are hurt and not and inactive on my bench. So that's gonna hurt in terms of flexibility. Like Dale has a lot of flexibility with his offense. He has guys he can put in to fill a lineup that I might not be able to at certain days. So Uh, yeah. So again, I think the playoffs are going to be really tight. I think the matchups are going to be good. And again, this is playoffs, so it can go either way. I mean, AJ was the 8th seed last year and he won the championship. Took out me in the first round, who was the 1 seed. Um, so anything can happen, guys. But again, this is for it. This is it. This is for the championship. This is where the fun of the season comes in. This is where you got to be on your phone. You got to be on it because you mismanage 1 day and that could be enough. And again, stay on top of the other opponent. See, Clevenger will be going twice. I think Shane Bieber might go twice for me, but I don't know. He pitched on Tuesday, so I might get 2 starts from Shane Bieber if I choose that route. Um, Wainwright's looking good against the Braves right now, but it's only been 2 innings. So again, you got to keep on track of the other team. In Dale, what's the best path? Like if if they see that the other team's going to start a fifth guy, do they call you? If they s- do we if they end up starting a fifth guy, is there an exception made and you get to start a fifth guy as well? Just because we're all busy, we have things going on, and that might happen. So I'm assuming if the other guy starts a fifth starter, then you can start a fifth starter, and that just we don't want that to happen. So please, obviously, we have a gentleman's um, agreement that we'll all follow the rules. Dale says that's true about missing a day of standing lineups. I missed out on 3 to 4 home runs on the bench. Yeah. So again, one big adage that I go by is Dale said hit him up directly ASAP. So that means call him. Don't text him. Call him. Blow up his phone. This is the playoffs, fantasy baseball. So yeah, he'll do his best to make the adjustments, the necessary adjustments to correct any kind of mismanagement pitching wise. So hit him up, blow up his phone. Yeah, but again, this is the playoffs. So I have a thing that the best managers win championships. Those who stay on top of it, a lot of it is luck. He said he can bench the pitcher on the team, but call or text first. Okay, so he can verify everything. So guys, again, it's one rule. It's one rule change. You only can start 4 pitchers. Okay. Um, and I think you can't make any conditional ads during the playoffs. I think conditional ads are done, right, Dale? Like you cannot make any. If you have a conditional ad, you can't make them during the playoffs. I think that's it. Like no moves, any more moves. Um, but I think we had 6 teams frozen this year. How many of them made the playoffs? It's like this. I think Justin, Alejandro, David, Adam, Carlos, Joe, and AJ. Maybe not Carlos. I think AJ. So of the frozen teams, Joe made it. Adam, no, Adam didn't get frozen. I think just Moy. So Moy, Joe, Carlos. I think half our teams froze. Yeah, so Dale said correct. Conditional ads are done. So no conditional ads are in the postseason. And I think 3 frozen teams made the playoffs. So uh, including Joe, who was the number 2 team. So um, is there anything else you guys want me to talk about? Kind of went over everything relatively quick, 45 minutes. Is there anything else? I mean, I talked about the playoff matchups, talked about the season, recapped everybody. Oh, only 40 minutes. Um, so if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, but again, congratulations on a long. This is 19-week season. Actually, this is one of the shorter seasons. Usually we go to 20 weeks, but um, yeah, I'm pumped up. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. I don't know how the brackets break down after the first round. I think, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think you're gonna have 1 and 8, and right below them, I think is 3 and 6, and then the winner of those two face each other. And I don't think they reshuffle. And then 4 and 5 and 2 and 7 are down here. So I think the winner of 4 and 5 faces the winner of 2 and 7, and the winner of 1 and 8 faces the winner of 3 and 6. But I don't know if there's any reshuffling. All I can confirm is the structure for the first round, and that's me versus Dale, Joe versus Carlos, Efren versus Adam, and Moy versus Ray. So if you had to guess, I would let you guys do your picks for every matchup other than your own matchup if you want to put it in the chat. Um, but again, I don't have anything left. Let's just get it. What a season. The 2022 season is in the books. Congrats. And cheers to the playoffs, guys. All right, later.